Let's take this guy off. Alright, he's Mega here, and I'm prepping for tomorrow's solder-thon. Alright, so yeah, we gotta do some modifications. Alright, we gotta change this into this, alright, so it connects into the harness. So this is like a stock, this is a version 2 Suron throttle, I think is what they call it. There's a version 1 and a version 2. All the ones that Hayes Mega's had is like the version 1, right? It's a black, red, and a green, alright? So I have a throttle box here that's a black, red, and a green. You can see, okay. And so we just have to match this, okay. So this harness, all right, the one that I bought off of AliExpress, the colors are all wrong, okay, guys. I've got a blue. The black was supposed to go to blue, and then a red was supposed to go to blue. And then black is supposed to go to brown, alright? So there's a black, brown, and blue on this, okay? And they're all wrong, okay? So the black is supposed to be on the top, alright? So see this triangular connector? There's a black wire there, okay? So that's their ground. That's got to be on the top of the connector, alright? So that's this guy right here. This is one's supposed to be the ground, alright? The black. So I moved that one over there, alright? So take a look at this. Okay, so here's another one, alright? So if you look at it, the colors are totally different now, okay? The black is turned into the blue, the red turned into the blue, and then the, okay, from the left to the right, guys, the black is the blue is the red, and the red is the black, alright? They're totally different, okay, guys? Alright, so I figured out how to take the pins out of this. Alright, it's not very difficult. You just get a screwdriver and you pry this yellow piece out, okay? This one, okay? Yeah, so that's with the yellow piece on there, okay? You just pry. There's a little tab here. You pry it and it pops right off, okay? And then that'll give you access to put a some kind of what did I use? I use a pick. All right, you just stick a pick in there and then you can pull it out. All right, guys. Here, I will show you. I will demonstrate. So this one is done already, but see, there's a plastic tab in there. So you just push up on the plastic tab, and it should release it. Okay, yeah. So you gotta push the tab down. Okay, don't push it up. Push it down in relation to the pin, right, and then it comes out. All right, it also comes out with a little rubber booty here. Okay, so that's what keeps it. Keeps the water out, okay? Okay, and then just to put it back in, you just press it back in. Okay, and so that's what I did for all of those. Now I'm done with this, so I want to put this little guy back in. Okay, I think you just press it in there. Pop. Okay, there you go. All right, so now it's more proper. All right, so here's the version 1 Suron connector, alright? Okay. So I've kind of lined them up. The reds go to the red, alright? The blue goes to the green, and then there's the black. The black is on top, okay? The blacks match, okay? So it's easy. Black to black, red to red, and then the only odd one is the blue one, so the blue will go to the green, okay? There you go. Alright, it's much easier than trying to figure this out, guys. Okay? This is totally fucked up. I don't know why. I don't know why they wired it like this. I don't know what they're trying to wire, guys. But the black goes to the red, and then the red goes to the green, and then the blue goes to the black. They're all totally different, all right, guys? So it's super confusing, all right? I don't know why they did that, but it's a good thing I figured out how to swap the wires around, all right? It's quite easy, all right? Okay, so yeah, so this is ready to be soldered on, all right? So this is going to go... So it's going to be it's going to kind of be easy. So now I have to adapt the version 2 Suron connector to the version 1 connector. This is not really the version 1 connector either. So, but the blacks will go to black. Okay. There's a brown. The blue will go to blue, and then there's a brown. All right. That's the odd one, right? So that's going to go to the red. All right. So brown to red, black to black, and blue to blue. Right. That way. And then that way it should match this, okay? Hopefully, we'll find out. All right. I do know for sure black should be to black. Okay. So we'll do that. So black should be the one on the top here. So the black will be here. Okay, and so that should mirror the harness that's on the bike. Okay, guys. At least I hope so. If it's wrong, all we got to do is switch the wires around, and actually that wouldn't be very difficult because I figured out how to do it. All right, so we would just have to switch the blue and the red wires around. Okay. And we can do that. We can check. Well, if the throttle doesn't work, we just switch the wires around. All right, that's easy. Okay. So so in the next clip, Hayes Mega will solder these wires, okay, onto this throttle, okay, and then we should be good to go. All right. Okay. So that's it. And then we just gotta extend the ignition wires. And then the bike should power on, all right? And then we got to figure out where we're going to put the gauge, okay? That'll be a separate video. All right, but Hayes Mega is done. That was my homework for tonight, all right? Tomorrow, I will go do the soldering, and then we'll extend those wires, and then we'll be done, okay? All right. Hooray. All right, Hayes Mega here, and it's the next night, and we're going to go solder this... wires onto the connector, alright guys? So I'll probably do is about that much. I don't know, that's a good question. I wonder how long we need to make this cable. But I mean, we have that much extra wire, so I was thinking, why don't we just cut off that much extra wire? Okay, so we'll cut this like right here, okay, and then if I want to use this for something in the future, we still can. Chances are it's just gonna go on the it's gonna just go with the far driver controller. Okay, so sorry, my workstation is a mess, guys. What can I say? Okay, plug that bad boy in, okay, and then let's cut this guy. Okay, we'll cut it right there. Snip. Alright, I'll plug this into the far driver controller. Okay, so I'm gonna get my hobby knife here. Cut into this jacket ever so carefully. Something like that. We could probably still use this, so I won't snip that. Okay. So oh boy, do I remember which one is which. So I remember the black is supposed to be up here, and this isn't. So this is not the right one, guys. This is the right one. Alright, yeah, the black is supposed to be on the top of the triangle, right? Black on the top of the triangle. So this is the correct one. I actually had the wrong one in my head when I picked it up. Okay, so let me go strip these wires. I had a really nice stripper, and it's gone now. Okay. Gonna get some shrink tubing. Good thing is these wires are kind of thin, so it's only 5 volts going through it. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna just make a sped up video, alright guys? There's nothing too critical going on here. Okay, so I've got everything, I already kind of pre-configured everything in the last video clip, okay guys, if you remember correctly. So the blue's going to go to the blue, the black's going to go to the black, and the red is going to go to the brown, alright? So I matched up the colors as best as I could, alright? So hopefully this thing will work when I plug it in. Okay, that's the hope. Alright. Hey guys, I'm done wiring it. Alright, I got to finally use that cloth tape. Alright, it looks similar to what they use in the Altas. The Alta Redshift. Alright, that's kind of the tape they use. It's supposed to be like a high temp kind of cloth tape. Alright, we'll see how long it lasts. It's pretty cool. What it looks like is like a gauze bandage, man. Alright, so there it is. Alright, so black is on the top. Alright, the red is on the bottom right. And the blue is on the bottom left. Alright. Kind of like this. So there's the two, right? So the black is on the top. All right, the green is going to the blue, and the red is going to the red. All right, so hopefully that's the way it works. Okay. Also, it's brown, right? I think it's brown to blue, right? So, all right. So let's go hook it up. Oh, sorry, I forgot to get on video, guys. Hey, but I put the throttle back in. All right. And then I ran it, it's ran from here. It goes on top of the handguard mount here, okay? That's where I like to run my wires. And then, and it goes in between, inside where the headlight is, alright, and behind this, whatever this is, alright? And then it goes across the head. I was able to get the connector through here. Where I'm at right now is I'm trying to get the connector into here, okay? Because the head is too big on the connector to fit through there. So I'm gonna have, so I can either put it through this or put it through that. I'd kind of rather put it through this. That's what I'll say. Okay. All right, and it's gonna meet. I kind of want it to go to the airbox. I'd rather keep all the connectors in the airbox. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna take this out and then we'll put this inside here. Okay. Put this out. Take it out all the way, and we'll put this in here, and then put the nut back. Okay, and I probably want to Loctite this later. It doesn't have any Loctite on it. Fortunately, it doesn't come off. Okay, and that'll never come out. What? Cool. Okay, and then I think we're going to run it through the hole that's in the frame right here. All right. Put it through there. Okay. And then it looks like we'll barely make it to the airbox, so will this fit in here? That's a good question. If I can get it in the airbox boot, all right, guys. It's quite a bit of wires going through it already, guys. Let's keep on stuffing stuff in there, man. Hey, if I can get the Hall sensor wire through there, I can probably get this one through there. Okay. But remember, we need we need some wire because the handlebars turn. Okay, there we go. Boy, it's getting crowded in there, guys. Not gonna lie, dude. Okay, it's there. Oh, come on, there we go. Okay, yeah, there we go. So there's not a lot of slack left. But let's move the handlebars around, or let's connect it first. Okay, so here's the connector. Like I said, I didn't have to connect it in there, but I would rather have as many of the connectors in there as possible. So let's put this back in here. The quality of the electrical tape is a little bit better for the EBMX stuff. Okay, so how did I get this in here? I just kind of just squeezed it through. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. We'll see. Let's try this first. There we go. Barely fits in there. Okay, so we're gonna connect it right here. Connect it right here. Just like that. All right, snap. And this is gonna go in here. Okay, there it is. Connector's right there. Maybe we'll have the connector at the opening. All right, so what I'm gonna do is pull this out much as I can. Okay, and I think that's good. All right, so let's go do a handlebar test. Just make sure the handlebars don't get dinged. Okay, so all the way left I think should be fine. Okay, I don't see it tugging at all. So which one is it? Is this one here? Yeah, it's like pinched in there. It's not, that's not going to move at all. Okay, so there is sufficient slack for the throttle cable through the whole range of motion. Alright, so that shouldn't get pinched or rub anything that much. So let's say, alright guys. Yeah, if anything, I can pull this into the airbox more. Alright, so that's what I'll do. Okay, so there's that. This way, this is nice and taut. Alright, it's in fact, let's put the gas tank on there too. See what I'm working with here. Okay, so there's the wire. Alright, there's the two wires. And okay, there's this. Alright, and it doesn't get in the way of the gas tank. Alright, and we kind of want this as high as possible. Alright, because the battery is going to be here. I think the battery's height is like right here. So all this here is open space. So, but we want to make this free. We want to make this area free as much as possible. All right, so we can get our hands in there. We need to do something in there, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then, so another thing we have to address, all right, is we need to make brackets for the side plastics. All right. None of this zip tie shit. Okay. All right. So so that's it. The throttle is done. All right. The next thing we need to address is we need to lengthen this this connector here. Okay. So let's pull this here and see how much wire I'm gonna need. Okay. It's gonna go like that. I think it's already, yeah, it's already routed where it should be. This is gonna go here. Okay. Okay, so this is how much wire I need. Alright. Quite a bit. Let me get it. Let me just get it. Okay. I probably want to give it an extra inch or two. Alright, but we're going to go from whatever the shortest one is. We'll go with this green one here. Okay. From here to like right here. That's about 8 inches. Yeah. How about, let's do 11. We'll do 11 inches. So just do the whole foot. So okay, so that Hayes-Mega guesstimated that we would need a foot of extra wire. So, and that seems about right. All right, that might be a little too much, but that's fine. Whatever. Okay, well, whatever doesn't fit, we'll pull back into the airbox. Okay. It is kind of handy having the airbox. Jeez, look at the thing. It's filling up fast, man. There's a lot of stuff in there now. I thought like, oh yeah, look at all that space we got in the airbox, man. It's just full. It's gonna be full of freaking wires, man. We haven't even run the 12-volt power supply yet, man. So that's a good question. How are we gonna be able to get that through there? We'll find out. Okay. We got plenty of places to route wires, though. We can go out this way. You can go out this way. All right. There's space over here to go out where we cut the box. There's space here. There, well, we can't use that. This is where the seat thing goes. We can put it here. We can put it around here too, or we can even put it outside the airbox. So there's still plenty of room to route wires out of this box, all right? But like I said, Hayes-Meg is trying to route as many of them as he can through there, right? And it's not easy, guys. But the Hall sensor connector was like the worst one, right? And I was able to get it through there somehow. Okay, it's got a nice place to go. Yeah, I'm glad I cut that. The lip off of that thing on the airbox, man, because that would have chafed the wires or cut the wires really bad. All right, now it's just the rubber part rubbing on it. So, okay, so we need to. Okay, last part to getting this running is we're gonna take this back out and then add an extra foot of wire to it. Okay, let's hop to it. the backing stayed on there. So now I know exactly where to put it back. It didn't move at all. All right, here's the fasteners. All right, let's take this thing out of here. Okay, and we'll go. So we're gonna snip this somewhere. Let me move this wire back all the way. Yeah, we'll snip it like right here, I guess, and then we'll make it longer by a foot. Okay. Okay, I found some wire. All right, it's a 20 gauge wire. I don't really know what this is here, but it should be good enough. It's just a switch, guys, so there's not a lot of power going through it, supposedly. So the nice thing about this is I don't have to get a shrink wrap or tape or anything. It's already put together, so they're all already bonded to each other. Okay, so we'll cut it at 12. All right, if we have to strip whatever, that's why you have all that extra, right? Okay, there. I got plenty extra just in case. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna cut this in the middle. Right? Maybe a little farther back, right here. Okay, and we have to try to remember to match the colors. Okay, there's a striped one and a black one. It doesn't really matter, guys. all you do is just join the wires together, guys. That's what we're doing. But okay, and then I'm just gonna make this longer. All right, I'm just gonna solder these two together. All right, so let's. This wire is quite a bit thicker, but I had it lying around, so I might as well use it. That's why Hayes Mega hoards this stuff, man. Extra wiring and stuff. Yeah. Freaking wire hoarder. Alright, and voila, there we go. We have an extended dealie. There was this thing there. I don't know why. There's a piece of a shrink tubing already on this. It's like they intended you to freaking have to extend this thing, man. Why not just give us extra wire so we don't have to extend it? It's better to have more than less, right? Okay, so I guess I'm gonna just put this here so this doesn't move all that much. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, okay, I'm just like right here. Okay, and we're done. Alright, let's go install it on the bike. Okay, so like I mentioned, I made sure and I connected the same wires, alright? So the white stripe here one is connected to the white stripe inside this, okay? So, alright, let's do it. This is a very nice switch, by the way. I don't know about the quality of the switch, but the housing and everything is really nice on it. I kind of dig it. Unfortunately, it won't be staying on the bike. Well, we're going to get like a keyed ignition switch at some point, alright, but this is, like I said, this is just to get the bike up and running in the meantime, and we'll polish it off, polish it up later, we'll make it look nicer. And then the nice thing is, like, I'll always have this switch, so if I want to go back to this setup, I can do that, so I like that. I'll keep this handy. I think this is for racing, alright? It's like for they designed this harness for just so you can just for racing, alright? There's like some regulations saying, oh, it's got to be like this, like that, and this is what they came up with. Let's make sure it doesn't move. Okay, I'm not really sure that's where I want it, but well, we'll play around with the switch positions later. Alright, and then I'm gonna go lock this throttle in. It can actually move this out a little bit, but I'll play with the adjustment later, right? Let's just get everything in there. This I want probably stick out a little bit. Okay. Sorry, my camera light died. Okay, pull it through. Alright, all the soldered sections are not... so the stuff that I soldered is not very flexy, guys, so try to keep that out from areas that need to flex. Okay, and then there we go. Alright, and then I just connect this to this. Okay, I got a camera light for your viewing pleasure. Okay, and the final connection. Alright, so we're going to connect this green one here to this. It's a very tight connection. Ugh, okay. There we go. Make sure this old jacket isn't bunching up because it may pull the wire loose. Okay, and then there's this one. Okay, this one not such a good seal on that one. Yeah, this is a hot wire, guys, so you don't want anything to touch this. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that excess wire, alright, so like I mentioned, we'd have extra, right? So that extra wire, we can pull through the airbox. What do I have? Oh. Okay, one is going to the battery and one is going to where? Oh, the other one is on the harness. So this is the one that's on the harness, guys. And then this is the one that connects to the controller. Okay, I just want to pull some of that slack out. Okay, just loop that right there. What I could do is rotate this the other direction because there's plenty of wire, right? So I want it to be kind of straight like that, but not tight, okay? So it moves. All right, so we're going to do a check. Let me get this freaking... Okay, move the handlebars. Okay, make sure that doesn't move much. All right, it moves a tiny bit. Tiny bit. That's fine, okay? All right, make sure that these wires aren't pinching or anything here. Okay, where all the moving parts are. Okay, and it looks fine. All right, I can see the wire is bending here, and it's hitting the headlight, that's okay. All right. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle this connector back. All right, because I don't want it to snap off or anything. So what I'm going to do is just loosen that terminal and then retighten. Some final tidying up here. All right, I want to get this ratchet here. Okay, and I'm going to loosen this the positive terminal here. just a little bit. Just actually, I want to get it. I want to take it out and get it away from this loopy thing here. Or I can move this over there. I don't like how stuff is kind of moving around it. Okay, that's fine. Alright, and then I'm just gonna loop this back because I got plenty of wire now. Okay, and then that's just gonna loop around there. I kinda don't like it touching the top of the controller, so I'm gonna loop this underneath here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go tighten it. And we'll be done. Okay, and then so that's a little happier now, all right, because there's the one connector going this way and the other connector going the other way. So, okay, and then we're done. So here's the final final wiring. All right, not the final wiring, all right, but this is the wiring to get everything running. Okay, so just the essential stuff. All right, is what I'm gonna say. All right, guys. So there's the air box. All right, I keep on going over it. There's the hall sensor. That's the throttle right there. All right, all of it is going through the intake. All right, the intake boot. All right. There's your positive. There's your 3-phase wires. All right, like I said, the blue one was very hard to get in. All right, and then there's the black wire. All right, we'll probably be changing these out in the future. All right, because we're going to get the 72-volt battery. And I think they gave us 4-gauge wire, man. From what I heard, all right. Okay, and then so there's our harness connector. Is that the harness connector? No, this is the hall sensor. This is the harness connector right here. Okay, this is the QS harness connector, and it has this red wire coming out of it. All right, and it goes to the switch. And then on the other side of the switch, it goes back, and it goes to the positive terminal. All right, which this is the one that goes to the positive terminal. Okay, this is the one that goes to the other side of the switch, and then those are the bullet connectors that we just extended. All right. What else comes out of this? Yeah. So this is the QS harness, and it has this, and then the throttle. That's it, all right? And that's it. That's pretty much all you need to get the bike running, all right? And then there's the battery connector, all right? Hopefully that reaches the battery still. The battery lead it's kind of long. We'll see. I think it's roughly where it was before. I will probably try to tidy this up later, all right? What I'll probably do is just get a big zip tie and zip tie it to the bottom of the frame right there. And I think that should be sufficient. Okay. So there's the switch. There's the throttle. All right. We had to modify the throttle. All right. So it would fit into the Sauron connector. All right. Because they have it wired for a Sauron throttle. Yeah. So this is the on-off switch. Okay. That's on, that's off. Okay. Everything goes through here. Alright, that's kind of cool. They have all these like little things to maneuver the wires around. Alright. And then also you've got I forgot the peripheral, the 2-into-1 cable. Alright. The 2-into-1 cable is, I believe, this one here. Okay, this goes out here somewhere. It's one of these wires, alright. Not that one. That's the throttle. Okay, this is the 2-into-1. See this one here? This goes to 2. This one goes into 2, right? Or 2-into-1. However way you look at it. This one is going to the display, which is not mounted yet. That will be a separate video, guys. Okay, it's just kind of just sitting there. And then this is the regen throttle. Okay. And then right here we've got the selector switch. All right, the switches for the display right here. Okay, I hope I didn't break the display. I dropped it a couple times, man. I've just been bumping into things a lot nowadays, man. So that's how that is. All right. I don't like that. I don't like the way that is right now. Okay, but so the only thing left to do is hook up the battery and then hit the starter button. All right. No, well, not the starter button, but the on-off switch, and it should fire right up. Okay, guys. But I'm gonna go. Another thing we could do is we could make this a kill switch. Is what we could do. Yeah, we can use this as a kill switch, and then we can have an ignition key. All right, so you would have to turn the ignition key on and then flip this on, or we can just get an on-off switch. Okay. Oh, you know what? I do have an on-off switch. I have an on-off switch for the lighting kit. So it's gonna be crowded, man. So maybe I will just get rid of this, man. But for now, this is what's gonna turn the bike on and off. All right, and this is what's gonna make the bike go, and this is what's gonna make the bike slow. Okay, and this is gonna select your thing up and down, all that stuff, right? Like the egg rider display. So if you guys don't know, this takes the place of this. All right, we have this on the kit. This is what I'm using on the Suron right now, the egg rider display. Okay. So this has the up and the down, and there's a mode button, and there's a power button on top. So the weird thing is this one doesn't have 4 buttons, man. It only has 3. So maybe this is the mode button, maybe this is the up and down button. Okay, but there's no power button, but that has a power symbol on it. So I'm not 100%. I don't know how it works, guys. But we'll have to get everything running. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, and there's the Bluetooth, right? That's the Bluetooth adapter. And that's an easy one. I just connected it straight to the controller. The controller has an actual connection for that. Okay, and I just we just zip tied it to the subframe. Okay, so that's it. All right, there it is. All right, so we've gotten at the point where the bike will run. All right, so in the next video we're gonna make it run. All right, so so this is what kind of the time frame that we're at as of this video. All right, so it took me. The important part, the part that took the longest, which I thought wouldn't take that long, was mounting the controller, all right? It was a lot of, like, scratching my head, trying to figure stuff out and finding out what works and what we need to cut and how to mount it and all that stuff, all right? And then by the time I got it figured out, it took a whole week, okay, guys? It literally took a week of, like, well, I also had to learn how to take the bike apart, guys. I had to take the subframe out, I had to take the airbox out. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Also, we had to take all the far driver stuff out, okay? So all the old stuff had to come off the bike, all right? Really, the only thing that we're using that was on there before was the throttle, okay? And I think I want to change the throttle to like a domino throttle later. I found one on Facebook Marketplace for a good deal. I might go snatch it up, but it's not around here, okay? But it's for a Zero motorcycle. Apparently the Zeros use a domino throttle. Alright, I have a domino throttle on the light bee, and I kind of like it. It's kind of harder to twist, but I don't like it super light, but I don't like it really heavy either. I get wrist cramps, Okay, yeah. So it took a whole week to mount the controller, all right? And then yeah, it took I think it took 3 days, all right? It took 3 days to wire it up, all right? And that's and then that's just running all the wiring and connecting everything to get it in a state where it'll actually run, all right? So in the next video, we will fire it up, all right? Also we got to do is put the battery back in, connect it, all right? And then it should run, all right? It should power up, and then we begin the tuning, all right? So we'll get it tuned up real quick, all right? We'll run the motor tuning dealy, and then we'll play around with the settings and stuff, but we won't be able to ride it yet, all right? Okay, because it's kind of like one, it's still in pieces, and two, we're gonna install the 12-volt harness, and I need to mount the display. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen. All right, in the next video, we're gonna fire it up, and then we're gonna play around with the settings and get it running. All right, basically, we'll get it to the point where if we twist the throttle, it'll move. And if we hit the regen throttle, it'll slow down, all right? And then that's the goal for the next part, all right, guys? And then after that, I will make a mount for the display, all right? So that's what's got to come next. Mount the display, All right, I don't think it's very difficult. I've kind of figured out what I need to do. All right, there used to be a display on this bike already, so we're just going to use that existing mount, but make a bracket for it. All right, basically, and then we're going to install a 12-volt Enduro lighting kit. That's just in this bag right now, this Walmart bag. Okay, and I will tell you about that one when that video comes along. Okay, and then we'll have lights on the bike. All right, so it'll be street legal. I also have mirrors. I also have some folding mirrors to put on too. So this bike will be legit like a dual sport, okay? An enduro dual sport bike, all right? And we could race it at night if we wanted to, all right? Yeah, okay. And it is street legal. It has a plate. It sort of has a plate. Okay. Okay, so that's the end of this portion of the video, guys, all right? So we just wired the bike up, all right? And that took me 3 days, all right? I hope this was an educational and entertaining video. Thanks for watching. Hayes Mig out.